Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome. My name is Mike Holder. It's speech 4 for week 5 of my communication class with Columbia College. This week I want to be discussing the lack of communication and communication breakdown within the family and your friendship network. Let's face it that cell phones are creating a huge distraction, and it's breaking down your relationships with folks, and it's something you need to work on. And hopefully I can convince you today to at least think about it when you're in a social network or media area, that you guys can you can think about that and put your phones away for a little bit, communicate with the folks around you. Lackofmindfulness.com is a website you can reference that talks about some of the issues of cell phone problems. Now, if websites can dedicate themselves to these social issues that are going on, it gives some substantiability to say, hey, look, there are problems with cell phones, and we need to be looking at our use of the cell phones and whether we're violating that, and we're hurting our relationships, whether it's with family or friends. For example, you have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and social media sites that people will spend more time on at their household than they will actually communicating with their parents. A good example of that is like if you sit down at a dinner, you'll take a picture of your dinner, you'll share it with everybody. However, at the table, that conversation you won't talk about that dinner. So you're missing out on the moment of sharing a good moment there with your family, but yet you're sharing it on Facebook. So that dedication to moment, you can never get back. So think about that when you're constantly texting or if you're at an event, you're missing out on what's going on. The HuffingtonPost.com, if you reference that site, it talks about the loss of communication within the family group. And folks are not communicating with their families, so therefore you have relationships going on social media, and yet the relationships with your spouse or your significant other are suffering within the household. It's probably something you need to think about, work on, and move on from there. A lot of people do like to live their lives on social media, so they'll, rather than dealing with the issues at hand, at home, they'll take their problems to social media. I know you've all seen it and dealt with it. We've all dealt with it, and we're all violators of that. So if somebody has a problem, they'll post it out there. I don't think it's the best way to go. You guys probably shouldn't either. Maybe you're sharing too much that you shouldn't be sharing. Something to think about. With that, if you're doing that, it has a tendency to drive you away from each other and or people. So if you come into the house or you're in an event and you're spending your entire time on the phone, well, you're driving yourself away from people, and then people are driving themselves away from you, because they don't want to try to communicate with you because it's too difficult, because you're concentrating on your phones and you're not concentrating on them, which creates a family divide. You can reference psychologytoday.com, which talks about that family divide and some of the issues that are taking place, more specific with children. So children are rather than communicating with their family, they're resorting to the games on the phone or texting and whatever it may be, YouTube videos. It all goes into this play of it's a network to, I don't think they're doing it on purpose, but in essence they start to avoid their parents. So it becomes their little cloud or their little shield that they get under their phone, and then they stop communicating with their family. It even gets worse because kids will put earbuds in, and when they put those earbuds in, then the parents can't communicate with them. So if they're down in the rooms, the parents are trying to call them or communicate with them, they've totally zoned out of the situation and they're not paying attention. It's a form of liberty that they're exercising, and it's something you really need to think about if that moment and withdrawing to your phone is really worth jeopardizing your family relationships. So the things that are wrong with this is you'll have folks that that we all know are there. So when you're talking to somebody and okay, so what's more important with your conversation? And what's more important at that moment? You'll be talking to somebody and in the middle of the conversation, man, they'll start texting, they'll feel the need to answer a Facebook post or Twitter text or something, but they'll go straight to their phone, ignore you, and that's no fun if you're in that type of a communication relationship when you're dealing with somebody. So our goal here is to improve our relationships by putting down our phone, taking the moment in, enjoying it, and working on your relationships. Newsweek.com has some good examples on what you can do, things you can ask yourselves. Can you part with your phone? Can it be for 30 minutes? Can it be for 45 minutes? Can it be for an hour? If you say no to these questions, which I'm sure every one of you can say no, then you probably should need to be working on this. So in conclusion, please, cell phones are breaking down family communication. They are hurting your relationships. Do your best, put the phones down, put them away, go up, talk to your significant other, talk to your parents, engage in conversation, make it meaningful, and keep going. So again, for that, I'll wrap it up with that. Thank you for coming. I appreciate your help, and have a good day.